Well, hello. We've been waiting for you. Please sign in. We've got a busy day ahead. If you're new to this school, please use the keyboard to enter your name. If you're already enrolled, select your name by clicking on it. If you don't see your name, use the arrows to scroll up or down the list. When you're finished, click on the Enter button. Please enter and have a seat. Sit up straight, no slouching in this classroom. Is that gum in your mouth? Sorry, my mistake.
Welcome to the Jumpstart pager. Check here for special messages.
If Professor Sparks had meant for me to fly, he'd have given me wings. But what could I do? This mission is too important. You startled me. I didn't think anyone would be here. Hey, you've got that, transquisor. Now be careful with that thing. Don't drop it. The future of the world may depend on that little machine in your hands. That is, if I'm not too late. There's just so little time and so much to do. Listen, I need your help, and if you think you can handle it, you can help me save the world. I am Android XL2, but you can call me Botley. That's what Professor Spark calls me. His daughter Polly calls me... Well, never mind what Polly calls me. I'm not getting to the point, am I? Here, let me start from the beginning. This morning, Polly's father, he left for another one of his famous inventors' conventions, and he programmed me to keep an eye on Polly. I'm supposed to keep her out of trouble. With Polly, that's always tough. But today, it was impossible. After coming home from school and madder than I've ever seen her, Polly locked herself in her father's secret chamber. Now, I really shouldn't tell you this because I've been programmed for secrecy, but this being a world emergency and all, well... The professor has an honest-to-goodness time machine up there, and it really works. Not only that, but Polly sent 25 of the other androids back in time. The whole world is changing, and the changes of Polly written all over them. Cars don't exist anymore, and now everyone has to travel by pogo stick. An orangutan has just been elected president of the United States in a landslide. And the Statue of Liberty is now the Statue of Licorice. It's all happening so quickly. But with your help, I think we can rescue all the androids and maybe stop the world from getting too weird. Just hand me the transquisor. I think it's got all the information we need to get started. Cool. Now hang on tight and come with me. Well, this is it. Home sweet home. Polly should be inside.
Oh, that was funny. Watching that poor dumb robot flying back in time. I couldn't ask for a better way to spend the afternoon. In another day, the world will see the dawning of Polly's planet. Whoops! It seems there's someone at the door. Let's take a little peek. Oh, it's only Botley. He knows I don't like to be disturbed when I'm working. It breaks my concentration. Okay, let's see what he wants. This might be fun. Oh, Snotley, you're back. I've been looking for you.
My name is Botley.
I can see you've brought help. And you've got the transquisor.
She knows we need it to save the world.
Didn't my father teach you it's rude to tell secrets, Rotley? Well, I suppose he's told you his side of everything. But what does he know? Today, when I was at school, the teacher handed us a surprise quiz. I already knew all the answers, and she knew I knew them. So, just to have some fun, I made up my own answers to that dumb old quiz. But instead of laughing like she was supposed to, she gave me a big fat 0. I felt faint and short of breath. No one's ever given me a 0 before.
Well, that's not quite true, Polly. I remember just 2 weeks ago.
Be quiet, Plotley. This is my story. Anyway, after getting my first 0 ever, I got the most brilliant idea. Instead of settling for a bad grade, I changed history to match my answers.
So you sent 25 of your father's robots back in time to change history? How could you do that, Polly?
Please, Spotley, if you're so scared, why don't you just bring him back yourself? You've got my transquisor. Now all you need are the questions on my history quiz. To make it so easy even you can figure it out, I'll leave the disc with the first part of the test on the first floor. That's 5 questions total. Just plug that disc into the transquisor. Then figuring out where I sent the robots should be simple. Oh, by the way, you have to get in the house first. And I've changed the locks. Good luck!
Oh, that's just great. How are we going to get into the mountain? You see, the professor's lock system only opens when you reproduce the chimes you hear. Ring the doorbell to start the chimes. That will start the unlocking mechanism. Just listen closely and repeat what you've heard by clicking on the correct door panels. Good job! You opened the lock. All right. Good job! You opened the lock. Good job! You opened the lock. Only one more lock to go. That's it, you open the door. Now, be quiet and follow me. First, though, let me put this in a safe place. It's the utility belt that Professor Spark designed for me, and it's quite an achievement. Over there's a button that will take you out of any room in the mountain. The indicator next to it tells you how much energy is left to power the mountain. Now, if you ever need assistance, push on this button, and I'll do what I can to help. In the middle of the belt is the inventory. That's where we can store things we find in the mountain. The transquizzer, for instance. Professor Spark has set up a lot of games inside the mountain for Polly, me, and the other robots. If you click on this button, you can make some of them harder or easier to play. Finally, this score keeps track of how many invention points we earn. By opening the door, you've already earned a few points. Now, our destiny. This is the professor's home and laboratory. It's an entirely self-sufficient environment. We don't have to leave the mountain for anything. The professor even included recreational and cultural activities, so he and Polly wouldn't get bored. Over there's the kitchen, where we feature the very finest robot cuisine. Back there's the art gallery. Through that door is the music hall. When Polly takes her weekly music lesson there, the whole place clears out. Behind that door are stairs leading to the professor's jumbo electro generator. If necessary, we might have to go down there to power up. Finally, that stairway leads to the upper floors, filled with the professor's inventions. His most amazing invention, the time machine, is at the very top. Maybe later we'll have time to explore, but now we have to stop Polly from making the world too weird. To do that, we need to find that quiz disc. Hey, there it is! Pull out the transquizzer by clicking on the inventory button on the utility belt. All right, it looks like the disc should be inserted in the slot near the top of the transquizzer.
Good morning, Polly. I hope you've studied for the quiz today. You may have a lot of natural ability, but even geniuses need to study.
That's Polly's teacher, Ms. Winkle. At that school on the hill, everything's state-of-the-art. All the quizzes are personalized, programmed, and videotaped by the teacher. Pretty cool, huh?
Now, today's quiz is all about inventions and discoveries, something you should know plenty about, Polly. But no fair asking your father for help. There are 25 questions total, Polly. 5 on each of the 5 discs I've passed out to you and the rest of the class. That's 5 different levels. So, sit up straight, put on your thinking cap, and select your first question.
Okay, what we should do first is select one of the quiz questions. Just click on any one of the 5 buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer. Since we've got to bring all the robots back, the order doesn't really matter. Click on the yellow start button if you want to hear this question.
People once thought the Earth was the center of the universe and everything revolved around it. That's because when they looked up in the sky, the sun and the stars all appeared to be moving around the Earth. A nice idea, but appearances can be deceiving. Today we know that the Earth revolves around what? Miss Winkle, as everybody knows, I am the center of the universe. Yes, Polly, you're exactly right. The whole world revolves around you.
Heavens, Polly is just too much to bear. She used to think she was the center of the universe. Now she really is. We need to go back in time and straighten this mess out, or life as we know it will change drastically. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Well, it just so happens, Sotley, that I realized long ago that you would try to mess up my work, so I covered my tracks by hiding clues all over the mountain. 4 clues total.
Well, Polly, okay. It looks like we have no choice but to play by your rules, as unfair as they are. Just tell us what we need to find for this mission.
Relax, Scutley. It won't be so bad. I I sent Russian robot Cosmobot to put me in the center of the universe. You can get him back if you find these 4 clues. A pig, a sundial, a postage stamp, and a dollar bill. But why mess up a good thing?
Cosmobot and I never used to get along, but now we're pals. I can't believe Polly reprogrammed him for her selfish purposes. We have to find those clues and get Cosmobot back. Shh! I'm gonna try to sense this area out for clues. Hey, we're in luck! I'm sensing a mission clue in the music hall. There's also a mission clue in the painting gallery. This is Professor Sparks' art gallery. It's sort of an art museum and an art studio combined. That odd-looking machine over there is his virtual collection, where the professor keeps a display of some of the most famous works of art in the world. You can also go into the painting gallery in the back to create your own masterpiece. Don't forget to bring your imagination.
If you're going to visit the gallery, you let me know if you find any of Polly's things hidden in there. If I've told her once, I've told her 1,000 times, don't mess up the collection. Of course, she doesn't listen to me. Why, once I found a Romanesque urn next to a Baroque.
That's Mrs. Beasley. She's the resident art expert. Some say she's as old as some of the Greco-Roman statues in here.
I heard that, you hotshot silicon chipsters. So smart and so fast, and so what? I've got more sense in my vacuum tubes than a lot of you.
Well, if we have any questions about the art, we'll be sure to ask you. I think Polly has hidden one of the clues in the painting gallery. Click on the gallery way behind me to look into this.
What's the matter? Your sensors need tuning? There's no clue in here. But if you insist on browsing the collection, I did hide some invention points in one of the works.
We need a clue.
Quick, Snotley, what U.S. state is famous for its peaches?
Peaches from Georgia are famous all around the world, and Georgia happens to be the first name of an artist whose portrait I love. Let's go.
See that drum on the right side of the machine? That displays tiny pictures of all the works in the collection. If you click on any of the pictures, Mrs. Beasley will tell you a little bit about it and help you decide if it's the work you want to see. If the work you want isn't on the display, pull this lever to check out a different category. Mrs. Beasley, can you remind my friend about which of the professor's works of art we're looking for?
You're looking for a portrait of an artist named Georgia. Shiva is one of the most important gods in the religion known as Hinduism. Here, Shiva is doing a cosmic dance. Combine small pieces of colored glass into a design, and you get a stained glass window like this one. In this religious painting, God is depicted as an old man who reaches down from heaven to create the first man named Adam.
If you want to change the category being displayed in the machine, click on the lever near the bottom of the display. If you want to hear a little bit about any of the works of art in the category, click on it once. If you want to select the work of art and see it up close and big, click on it again.
This is a portrait of the artist Georgia O'Keeffe. Her paintings are beautiful, and so is this photograph. This full-length portrait is the mother of the man who painted it, James Whistler. When you look at this painting, ask yourself this: how did the artist make it clear that the subject of this portrait was a king? This is a Over time, photographs have become the most popular way of capturing a person's portrait. This portrait is a photograph of one of America's most important artists, Georgia O'Keeffe, standing in front of one of her beautiful paintings. Did you notice the regal profile of her face? Georgia O'Keeffe moved to New Mexico and began painting mysterious images of the desert landscape around her.
Hey, that was a lucky guess. And according to Polly's Book of Rules, which was written by yours truly, lucky guesses don't count. So there. Nope. You'll have to work a lot harder than that to win.
Uh-oh. It's a puzzle Polly thinks only she's smart enough to finish. But I think you can do it too. You just have to line up the tiles so that all their sides match. Click on any puzzle piece to lift it off the display. Then click on any other piece and they'll change places. All the pieces aren't right side up though, so sometimes you'll have to rotate them. You can do that by hitting the rotate button right there at the bottom of the display. While you're playing, Mrs. Beasley will tell you stuff about what you're looking at. She knows everything there is to know about the works of art Polly used to create this puzzle.
Oh, this is a beautiful puzzle filled with things made by Native Americans. Some of my favorite pieces are here.
Great work! Now take the invention points and move on. Great job! Now put it into your inventory so we can get back to saving life as we know it. Hey, we're in luck! I'm sensing a mission clue in the music hall. Voila! Another mission clue is hidden in the painting gallery. This room looks like an ordinary painting gallery, but Polly's father created it so anyone can make their own art.
Heidi-ho, Snotley. I hid one of the mission clues here, and if you want it, either you or your friend will have to paint me a pretty picture. Of course, I get to tell you exactly what to paint. And it better be good. I've always wanted a painting that showed something like this. The astronauts. They have roads on other planets, but the astronauts can fly wherever they want.
Click on any of the empty frames to begin painting. Click on the sheet of paper on the floor to read Polly's story. So the deal here is that Polly wants us to illustrate her strange story. I don't have much of an artistic flair. It's just not in my programming. So it looks like it's up to you. Luckily, Professor Spark made it so anyone can paint like one of the great masters. To your left are all the tools you'll need, and at the bottom are lots of cool colors. If you need to be reminded of what Polly's demanding, click on the card on the lower left corner of the frame. Click on any of the tools or buttons if you want me to explain what they are. When you want to work, just click on me and I'll skedaddle. I know that great artists need their space. Beautiful job. Just pick up the clue and add it to the inventory. Good work. It seems you got the painting right. Grab the clue and put it in the inventory. Then, okay, all sensors indicate that Polly hid a mission clue in the music hall. Okay, all sensors indicate that Polly hid a mission clue in the music hall. This is the door to the professor's concert hall, which he usually keeps locked so none of the less musical robots around here pound too hard on the piano. But the door doesn't open with a key. Instead, it uses a password. Hey, Beethoven!
Huh? Hello? Who's there? Oh, Bartley, it's just you. You should have called my name instead of just scuffling around out there.
Sure. Okay, listen, Polly's up to no good again, and we're trying to stop her. We're having trouble with this lock. Can you help us?
Now, Bartley, if I just gave you the answers, Polly would reboot me in a heartbeat. But if you're really having trouble figuring out one of the words, click on the button next to it, and I'll see what I can do. Good luck.
Okay. What you must do is unscramble the letters on the left side of the door to create 4 words.
Rhymes with Spain. Rain.
You've got a real talent for this.
If it weren't for this, sailboats couldn't move. Wind.
You've got a real talent for this.
You do this to your soup before you eat it. It seems you've created some kind of word, but it's not the right word. Click on the button next to the word if you need a hint. It seems you've created some kind of word, but it's not the right word. Click on the button next to the word if you need a hint. You do this to your soup before you eat it. It seems... Heat.
Hey, way to go!
Wet snow. Sleet.
You figured out all 4 words. Now, can you unscramble the password?
That is correct. The password is weather.
We're in. Follow me. This is the Mountains Music Hall. This is where rehearsals are held by our award-winning all-robot chorus, headed by Maestro Trombot. Of course, thanks to Polly, half the members of the chorus are lost in time right now. Ah, to hear their sweet, dulcet tones just one more time. Maestro? Hey, Maestro!
Shh, Bartley. You'll misalign my perfect pitch sensors. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. There we go.
Sorry, Maestro, but Polly's put us all in a bit of a jam, and the future of civilization is at stake.
Mamma mia! If she would only practice her arias, she wouldn't have the time or the inclination to destroy the world. Music has such a civilizing influence. Although her voice, let's just say it's not music to my ears.
I heard that, Maestro. You just don't appreciate my instrument. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do.
Well, Polly, you do have a quality.
I've got scads and scads of quality. But what Notley here wants is the mission clue I hid here. In order to get it, though, he'll have to play me a song. Not just any song, though. I want to hear this song. And please play it right, Dingbot. My delicate ears can't handle even one sour note. You mess up, and you get nothing. Nada. Zilch. Nuts.
You know, if you like, you can play the organ with the top row of number keys on your keyboard.
Click on the music tablet to play that tune.
How did she... it seems that you have your work cut out for you, dear Bartley. You see, the music is all mixed up. If you want to hear how it's supposed to sound, click on me and I'll play it for you. Then you should have little trouble rearranging those musical phrases until they're in the right order. Click on the button next to the phrase to hear the music start on it. Then click on the phrase to move it to another slot.
If you click on the play button, you can play the entire piece as it's arranged on the music tablet. You can even change the instrument it's played with by selecting one of the instruments on this panel. Way to go!
This song is called Yankee Doodle. In the old country, Italy, you know, a macaroni is a type of feather people used to wear in their hats. I bet you never knew that.
Music to my ears. Store the mission clue in your inventory, then we can continue our mission. This floor's empty. Let's try another one. You'll see that as we go up higher in the mountain, the professor's inventions get more secret and bizarre. Here we have the professor's delicate Biosphere. And over there, we have the professor's Shrink-O-Matic, an easy way to shed a few robot pounds. That tram there will take us even further up into the mountain, and to some of the professor's other inventions, including his famous time machine. If you want to go back to the first floor, click on these stairs. Stand back now while I sense the place out. I'm picking up a clue reading in the professor's Biosphere. See that glass dome? That's Professor Spark's Biosphere. In it, he can grow anything he wants from any part of the world. It's kind of like a vegetable zoo. And to protect the Biosphere from outside contamination, the professor has set up a remote control way of working inside it. See over there? Those are explorers the professor designed to fly into the Biosphere. And on that monitor is where you can watch the explorer as you maneuver it anywhere you want. Inside, there are 5 different environments to check out. A desert, a rainforest, a mountain range, a grassland, and even an ocean. Each one contains plants and animals you might find in those places.
Oh, Mudley, over here. Daddy doesn't deserve all the credit. I planted some things in the Biosphere, too.
Sure, Polly. Whatever you say.
I did. You don't have to believe me, but I just thought you might be interested in knowing that I planted a mission clue in there. You can't get your poor robot friend back without it. Don't expect me to tell you where I hid it, though. That would be too easy.
Polly, the Biosphere's huge. You're expecting us to find a needle in the haystack, so to speak.
Relax, Nutley. I know Daddy didn't exactly overload you with smarts. I guess I can even the playing field and give you some hints along the way. And here's your first hint. Get one of those explorers launched. Even you should be able to understand that.
Boy, someday. Well, let's launch one of these babies and see what Polly's got in store for us inside that biosphere. Click on the launch button on the console to send the explorer inside. Okay, now we can navigate the explorer around the biosphere by watching it on this monitor. Click on the monitor for a closer look. This is weird. It seems like the explorer is underground. I guess what we need to do is fly up into the biosphere. That should be right above us. To fly the explorer, use the arrow keys on your keyboard. Press the up arrow to blast the explorer forward, and press the left and right arrows to rotate it.
I hope you appreciate how much effort is going into asking me these difficult questions. Which animal lives underground? A flying fish? A golden eagle? A ground squirrel? I knew you'd get that one. You need to be wise to answer this one. Which bird nests underground? A sparrow, a vulture, a burrowing owl? Everyone knows that. This question will quickly cut you down to size, Motley. Which plant easily grows back after a fire? A banana palm, an oak tree, or grass? Oh, so sorry. Stop hounding me, Potley. Here's another question. Which animal is a relative of mice and rats? A tsetse fly, a prairie dog, or a bison? Big deal, you got one right. You can butter me up all you want, but you still have to answer my questions to get out of here. Which colorful animal displays the dull underside of its wings when it lands? A butterfly, a sparrow, a bat? Yeah, so you got it right. I doubt you can answer this one. What's a period of little or no rain called? A monsoon, a dust bowl, a drought? You're out of there. I'll mow you down with this one. What is the largest food crop in the world? Corn, wheat, or barley? Oh, so sorry. Do you have any brains stored in that fat head of yours, Rotley? What tree stores water in its fat trunk? the bamboo tree, the palm tree, the baobab tree. Big deal, you got one right.
Good job! We're above ground. The professor reproduced 5 different environments here. You have to find the one where Polly hid her clue. Press the spacebar to launch a probe. It'll give you an eyewitness view of what's down there. Then match what you find with Polly's hints. When you think you figured out the right environment, land the Explorer in the designated landing pad. Each environment has one.
Located. A desert lizard that inflates itself on purpose between 2 rocks until it gets stuck. Enemy. Poisonometer getting a reading from a desert insect. Deadly stinger. Threat to humans. Paralyzes its prey before eating it. This is a scorpion. Sifted. A copy in rock of a prehistoric insect. This is a fossil. Sonar detected. A small mammal that burrows underground to avoid the savanna heat. This is a ground squirrel.
Hey, nice landing. Click on a key on the console to open the box. Great, you got the clue. Now click on it and put it in your inventory. Then we can get out of here. There are no mission clues on this floor. Let's go to another floor. Okay, there aren't any mission clues on this floor. Let's go searching on another floor. I think we should go to another floor. Yes! We're at the very top of the mountain. Just knowing what's up here gives me chills. Still, I'd go anywhere and face any danger to save my fellow robots. Over there, we have the professor's observatory. Once, a while ago, he caught Polly spying on the neighbors with the telescope. Boy, did she get a nice long time out. In that room is a little obstacle course, sort of a robot boot camp. The professor uses it to test out his new robots. Of course, I passed with flying colors when I was tested, but sometimes he comes across a robot with a few bugs that need to be worked out. If you want to go back downstairs, just click on the tram. Oh, and over there, behind those forbidding stone doors, that's where the professor stores the time machine. There's no way to open it, though, until we have all of Polly's mission clues and, of course, enough invention points. Stand back now while I sense the place out. Okay, all sensors indicate that Polly hid a mission clue in the observatory. NASA has nothing over Professor Spark. Just take a look at this place. It's here that the professor conducts all his top-secret astronomical experiments. Way ahead of his time, of course. Hey, did you know that the professor landed a rocket ship on the moon years before Neil Armstrong ever set foot on it? Just kidding.
I guess you could say that you can get a mission clue here, but it's not exactly in this room. In fact, it's not even in this solar system, because I used one of Daddy's rockets to ship it into deep space. Special delivery. You won't find it by just looking around the void. You'll have to figure out exactly where to look.
How do we do that, Polly? Space is a big place.
Well, just 'cause I'm such a nice girl, I'll give you a teeny-weeny hint. There you go. I just sent the hint flying off toward the new black hole Daddy recently discovered. If you really work fast, you might rescue the hint before it gets sucked up into another dimension. Then again, maybe you'll fail. Scary, huh?
Don't worry, we might have a chance. Professor Spark recently launched a whole series of space probes into the black hole. I think we can use it to intercept Polly's radio transmission. Just click on the telescope and we'll get started. Is this cool or what? 1 minute we're in Professor Spark's observatory, and the next we're looking into space 300,000 light years away at a humongous black hole. See that? That was Polly's radio transmission, and the radio waves circling inside the black hole is part of Polly's hint. Unless you blast it out of there, it's gonna get sucked into a different dimension. That's one of Professor Spark's space probes. Don't worry, it's strong enough to resist the intense gravitational pull of the black hole, and it packs laser beams powerful enough to knock Polly's radio transmission to safety. You can actually spin the ship by using the arrow keys on your keyboard. To shoot the ship's laser beam, press the spacebar on your keyboard. Whenever you hit a radio transmission packet head-on, you'll knock it 1 light year away from the center of the black hole. When you collect 4 radio packets, you've got Polly's entire hint, ready for unscrambling. Another asteroid bites the dust. Fantastic! You destroyed an asteroid! Nice shoot! This way to maneuver! That's it! Now it's time to decode Polly's message. This is the Professor's alien transmission decoding device. It comes in handy when it comes to decoding transmissions from extraterrestrial beings. The catch is, he hasn't yet found any alien transmissions to decode. Still, we can use it to read Polly's hint. I guess you can call that an alien transmission. Here comes the radio transmission you intercepted from the grip of the black hole. What a drag. Polly's hint is all scrambled. The words aren't in the right order. Polly's not an alien, technically, but we can still use the Professor's alien decoder to unscramble her hint. What you need to do is rearrange the words so they create a sentence that makes sense. You know, a subject is usually followed by a verb and all that stuff you learned at school. You make quick sense out of that messy sentence. But wait, there's more to be done. You make quick sense out of that messy sentence. Something's not right. We gotta fix this sentence. Great! You decoded one of the sentences. But wait, there's more to be done. Decoding operation is completed. You broke the code.
I made the days longer than the nights. I made flowers grow tall and days grow warm. How did I do all these things? I brought spring to ancient people.
Okay, you unscrambled the hint. Quick, to the star chart so we can find that clue. This is the Professor's star chart. It's really like a map that shows the locations of all the billions of stars that we can see from Earth. Of course, there are billions more we can't see. In the old days, people used to navigate by the stars. This map would have come in handy then. Move the pointer over any of the constellations to find out their names. If you want to know more about one of the constellations, just click on it.
Karina represents the keel of Jason's ship, the Argo. Without a keel, a ship would sink into the ocean. Eridanus is a mythical river that flows across the night sky. When once the son of Helios, god of the sun, steered his father's chariot too close to the earth, Zeus shot a thunderbolt out of the sky, and the son of Helios fell into the river Eridanus. Stars that are 3 times bigger than our sun die a strange death. At the end of their lives, they collapse into themselves. The force of gravity becomes so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. We call such stars black holes.
To hear about any constellation, click on it. If it's the constellation where you think Polly sent her father's spaceship, click on it again.
Hydrus is the little cousin of Hydra. Both are monstrous water snakes.
Hey, there are a lot of stars out there. Just because the spaceship isn't in that constellation doesn't mean we won't find it in our next try.
Vela is the sails of Jason's ship. The wind of the heavens guides the ship through the starry night sky. Scorpio is the shape of a scorpion with its tail curved upward to sting. The scorpion's sting is deadly. Scorpions come out at night, just like the stars, and creep into bedding, shoes, and clothes left on the ground.
Nothing happened. I don't think that's the right constellation. Try again.
Sagittarius
Well, I guess the spaceship's not in that constellation. No problem.
Capricorn is a goat with the...
I'd suggest trying Aries. It's in the northern hemisphere.
Aries looks like a powerful ram, but its stars don't twinkle brightly. Still, it was the most important constellation to ancient people. When Aries appeared in the sky just before dawn, people knew that winter was coming to an end. Aries looks like a powerful...
Way to go! You picked the right constellation, and now the ship is heading back here. We made it! Wow, that was wicked. Just put the clue into the inventory and let's get out of here. The future awaits. We've got everything we need. Take a deep breath and click on the time machine door back there. Wow. Excuse me if I sound sort of odd, but I wasn't sure we'd make it to the time machine mission control. It's impressive, huh? This is Professor Spark's most important work to date, the Time Machine Extraordinaire. The professor created it so he could witness the invention of anything you can think of. Just go back in time and observe. He would never meddle, not like Polly. When he finds out what she's been up to, I wouldn't be surprised if she's in for some serious time out. Now we need to figure out where we have to go in history to complete this mission. That odd-looking machine will help with that task. It's called the Wheel of Invention, and by using Polly's mission clues, we can figure out which inventor we need to find. The professor tried to ensure that not just anybody could use the time machine. You need to know something about history, science, art, a little bit of everything, really. So click on the wheel and let's get going. We finally made it! This is where we bring everything together and figure out how to find the robot that Polly sent back in time. This is the professor's Wheel of Invention. It's an obstacle to the time machine. You see, some of the robots kept wanting to travel back in time to taunt the early computers, but you can't have that. So the professor devised a little quiz that's too difficult for the robots. But hopefully it's not too difficult for you. Oh, brother. Polly's reprogrammed the wheel so it's no longer just a quiz. It's a quiz show! It seems seems the show's called Pollywood Squares. You're the first contestant.
This is how you play. Answer 3 questions for each of the clues you collected. You'll find out what, when, where, and who. All the information you need to create a profile of your mission.
Once the game begins, you gotta work fast and try to answer each question on the first try. That way you'll win the time key faster and win the most points. Ready, set, okay, let's begin. Just click the on button to start.
Ladies and gentlemen, kids and robots of all ages, it's time to play Pollywood Squares with your telegenic host, me, Monty Monitor. Answer all the questions correctly, and you'll be sent back in time, all expenses paid, to rescue poor Cosmobot. Your first clue is a pork chop. The pork chop will show you what your mission is all about. I love pork chops, and I'm not the only one. Pork chops can be found in cuisines all around the world. Pork chops come from which farm animals? That's right. Pork chops come from pigs. So does ham and bacon. It's all pork and it comes from pigs. Pigs are the only animals besides humans whose skin can get what painful condition? No, most pigs stay away from the cold. No, lots of animals have dandruff. You're right! Hey! Pigs get sunburns just like people. Sunburns are caused by overexposure to the powerful rays of the sun. Our sun is actually a star. It's the center of a group of heavenly bodies known as what? You did it! Yay! Another word for sun is solar. That's why they call it the solar system.
Uh-huh. So it seems that Polly sent Cosmobot back to the time in history when the solar system was discovered. But where was that?
Your second clue is a postage stamp, and it will tell you where in the world your mission will take you. Postage stamps are a way to pay for sending letters and packages. Before postage stamps were invented, the person who received a letter had to pay for it, not the person who sent it. The postage stamp was first invented by an Englishman named Rowland Hill. What country did the English inventor of the postage stamp come from? That's right! Oh, jolly good! English people come from England, and England is part of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Now, let's see how good you are at geography. Great Britain is located on which continent? Right! Oh, Great Britain is in Europe, the second smallest continent on Earth. What country is located in the very center of the continent of Europe? Correct! Yes! Poland is a large country in the center of Europe. Polish people make delicious pork sausages and dance to a unique style of music called polka. Poland's also the place where the solar system was first discovered.
Thanks, Monty. We now know that the solar system was discovered in Poland. What we don't know is when it was discovered and by whom.
The third clue is a dollar bill. It will tell you when in history the solar system was discovered. If you had $1 million bills, you'd be a millionaire. The first kid ever to earn $1 million was a famous movie star named Shirley Temple. The dollar gets its name from a coin once used in a European country, known for its mountains, castles, beer, and frankfurters. Which country was that? Wunderbar! In Germany, the coin they called a dollar was made out of a precious metal. Precious metals are metals that are not commonly found on Earth. Which of the following metals is a precious metal? That's right! Silver is a valuable precious metal that is often used for making coins. Silver was first used to make the German dollar 500 years ago. Which is the earliest year you could have used a German dollar to buy a Frankfurter? Nope. Try again. That's right. In 1531, the silver coin called the dollar could have bought you plenty of German Frankfurters. 1531 also happens to be the year when the solar system was discovered.
We're almost there. All we need to find out is the person in Poland who discovered the solar system in 1531.
This is your fourth and final clue. The sundial will tell you who first discovered the solar system. A sundial tells the time as a shadow moves across a surface marked with the hours of the day. The Egyptians invented the sundial 5,000 years ago, and it was one of the earliest ways of measuring time. A sundial works due to the movement of what heavenly body? No! Try again. You are correct! Ha ha! Even though the sun creates the shadow that moves across a sundial, it's really the Earth that's moving, not the sun. While the Earth spins, it also moves around the sun. What is the Earth's movement around the sun called? No! No! Try. That's right! Ha ha! The Earth revolves around the sun. It takes 1 year to make one revolution. Who discovered that the Earth revolves around the sun? Right you are! Copernicus was the Polish astronomer who discovered the solar system in 1531. Before his discovery, people thought that everything revolved around the Earth.
Okie dokie, we got all the information we need. Now, on to the time machine. We've got to go to Poland in 1531 before Polly messes up Copernicus's discovery. We certainly don't want the Earth to revolve around Polly any more than it already does. Before we take this trip back in time, can I just tell you how amazing I think you are? That said, grab the time key and let's move out. Wow! Never thought I'd see the inside of this thing. Pretty cool, huh? The professor made it clear this time machine was off limits to anyone but him. But with Polly about to send the world out of control, I think the professor would understand. That looks like our window into the past. Look! All the information you found at the wheel is now neatly in place up there. I guess the time key did that. This lever looks important. Click on me if you think I should pull it. Maybe it'll start things up. Next stop, Poland, to visit the great scientist Copernicus. He's about to discover that the sun is the center of the solar system. There's Copernicus on the brink of making his great discovery. But look, Polly has reprogrammed the Russian robot Cosmobot to paint her picture on the model of the sun. Nyet, Cosmobot, nyet! Thanks to Cosmobot, Copernicus has decided that the Earth revolves around Polly. And we thought she had a swelled head before. Hit the recall button! It's our only chance! Wow, we did it! Cosmobot's back home and the cosmos is back in order. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. This is where the professor stores all his time-traveling robots. I call it the Robot Roost. Believe you me, these guys have been around the block a few times. The problem is, we have to get them all back from the different places and times that Polly sent them. Right now, though, it's 1 down and 24 to go. You gotta start somewhere. Just let me store this robot for safekeeping. A long rest is sorely needed. Polly sent plenty more back in time, so let's start another mission.
Oh, Dotley, you do have a hero complex, don't you? Always wanting to save the world. Just to make you happy, the next mission will be even harder.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. Come on, we've come this far, but we can't save a robot unless we're on a mission. We really should start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer. During the ancient Olympic Games, all wars would come to a stop and a truce would be called for 3 months. That gave the soldiers enough time to travel to the games, compete, then return home to continue fighting. What did athletes at the ancient Olympics get for winning?
A prize that would make anyone run faster and jump higher. A bouquet of flowers and a diamond tiara. Here I am, Miss Olympic Games.
Yes, that's absolutely right, Polly. The winners at the first Olympics were treated like beauty queens.
Oh no! Polly's gone too far this time. If she gets her way, the strong and brave ancient Olympians will be treated like beauty queens. You can't run a marathon in high heels. Well, not very well, at least. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer. Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. Get set for a trip to ancient Greece. We've got front row seats for the very first Olympic Games. Yay! It's the world's first Olympic winner. But boo! It's Rhonda, the beauty queen robot. Look, the next event is the talent competition. There's no mistaking Polly for Miss Congeniality. That poor athlete isn't getting a laurel wreath. That's a diamond tiara and a bouquet of flowers. Hit the recall button before the evening wear competition begins. Much better. You've saved the Olympics from becoming a beauty pageant. Imagine running a marathon in high heels. Now back to the future. Whoa, that was some landing. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. Hey, we can't stay in here all day. Back at the Robot Roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Oh, Blotley, you're such a party pooper. Well, just because you got lucky that time doesn't mean that I have to start worrying. There is still more to come.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer.
Baseball games usually take 2.5 hours, but only 8 minutes of that time is action. That's a lot of waiting around. It's no wonder that basketball, not baseball, is watched by more people in America than any other sport. Baseball was invented in the summer. Why do you think basketball was invented during the winter?
This is an easy one, Miss Winkle. Basketball was invented in winter to give snowmen something to play. I mean, think about it. Whose life is more boring than a snowman's? All they do is stand around waiting to melt.
Well, Polly, you slam-dunked that one. Basketball was indeed invented as a winter sport for snowmen. And believe you me, 7-foot snowmen are extremely grateful to have something to do besides stand around in the cold.
Snowmen playing basketball? You can't bring snowmen inside. They'll melt all over the court. We better do something quick. The lives of millions of snowmen depend on us. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer. Hey, I could get used to this. Click on me to get us started. Ready for a little one-on-one? A gym teacher in America is about to invent basketball. Let's go. It's James Naismith hanging the world's first basketball net, a peach basket. But what has Polly put Danny DeFrostbutt up to? Snowmen can't play indoor sports. You better hit that recall button before basketball becomes a complete washout. That's better. Basketball was invented as an indoor sport during winter. Now hold on while I steer this contraption back. Phew, we made it back. Always a good sign. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Another robot safe at home. I bet you think you're the smartest little robot in the world now, don't you, Gutley? Well, you're not as smart as I am, and I'm gonna make the next mission so tough you'll beg to be taken to the scrap heap.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission.
Magicians used to be in charge of curing the sick. If you were sick, you had magic performed on you to make you healthy again. Today, if you get sick, you go to the doctor, not to the magician. Thank goodness times have changed. When you get sick, the role of a doctor is to figure out what's wrong with you and then prescribe the treatment necessary to get you better. What's the role of a nurse?
Since the thing that never fails to make me feel better is cake and ice cream, I guess that's what nurses give their patients. Ice cream and cake. Medicine like that makes you feel better instantly.
That's exactly right, Polly. There's nothing better when you're very sick than chocolate cake a la mode.
Polly thinks you help sick people by giving them dessert. What a disaster. People will be trying to get sick just so they could go to the hospital and get ice cream and cake. What about people who really are sick? Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. Hey, it's visiting hours in England. Let's go watch Florence Nightingale as she makes her rounds. The Lady of the Lamp is inventing the profession of nursing. Better watch out, Florence Nightingale. Dr. Bugbutt's got a prescription for disaster. He wants to feed your patients ice cream and cake. Oh no! The Lady of the Lamp didn't hear us. Hit the recall button. Alright, saving the world sure makes a robot hungry. Too bad the doctor didn't bring the ice cream back with him. Now hold on while I steer this contraption back. Phew, we made it back. Always a good sign. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Well, good for you, Snotley. You rescued another one of your little friends. How sweet. But there are more where that one came from. I just hope you can rescue them in time.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click.
2/3 of the surface of the Earth we never see. It's covered by water. Drain the oceans and you'd see mountain ranges, canyons, plains, even volcanoes. You can't drain the oceans, but you can become a scuba diver and find out what you're missing. Why was scuba diving invented?
Well, Miss Winkle, everybody knows that high diving boards can be really, really high. At such high altitudes, there's not even enough oxygen for breathing. Scuba gear was invented so that people can breathe while swan diving off high diving boards.
That's exactly right, Polly. And with all that heavy scuba gear on, high divers make quite a splash when they hit the water.
That Polly, if she gets her way, people will be diving off high diving boards wearing flippers, goggles, and air tanks. We can't let that happen. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. Bon voyage! We're off to France to watch Jacques Cousteau invent scuba gear. Don't forget your suntan lotion. Has Polly gone off the deep end? She's programmed Flip to trick Jacques Cousteau into jumping off a high diving board. Oh my, quel dommage. As if we needed proof that scuba gear isn't tested for 10 meters above sea level. Hit the recall button and let's see if we can reverse the situation. Much better. Au revoir, Jacques. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Well, Notley, you're turning out to be a formidable opponent. Still, I'm not worried. Here's a whole other set of questions. You may start squirming now.
Okay, pick up the quiz disc and... No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. There's plenty of cool things to do on this floor, but unless we're on a mission, it all seems pretty pointless to me. Click on the inventory to start a mission. No time to pat ourselves.
Call it a chopper, an egg beater, or a whirlybird. Just don't call it late for dinner. Seriously, this aircraft is a good example of an invention that came way before its time. The idea for the helicopter was thought up long before it was built. A helicopter is an aircraft that's lifted into the sky by one or two powerful whirling rotors. Why didn't the person who first invented the helicopter build one?
Well, you see, Miss Winkle, it happened like this. The inventor of the helicopter was eating a delicious spaghetti dinner when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, someone came in and spilled sauce all over his designs. I think it was a rival inventor.
Oh, Polly, you are so right. It was a case of industrial sabotage. Spilled spaghetti sauce kept the first helicopter from being built.
Spaghetti sauce? Preposterous. There must be some other reason why the person who invented the helicopter didn't build one. We better find out. Aviation history depends on us. Click on the inventory button. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. Rotors, check. Engine, check. Radar, check. All set to watch the Italian scientist and artist Leonardo da Vinci invent the helicopter. Great! We found Amelia Airbot. But mamma mia, she's about to spill spaghetti sauce on Leonardo's designs. What a disaster! What a night marinara! Hit the recall button pronto, and let's see if we can turn back the clock. All right, if only cleaning the kitchen were so easy. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Plotly. What am I going to do with you? Are you trying to make me fail this test? I guess I'll have to make it a little tougher on you to get the next robot.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another.
An empty stomach doesn't make you hungry. We get hungry only when the brain's hunger center notices there's not enough food in our bloodstream. That's why you're supposed to eat your breakfast even if you don't feel hungry. You've got to get food into your bloodstream. Everyone knows that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. What was the first breakfast cereal made from?
The first cold cereal, Miss Winkle, was made with ice cream to keep it cold. For flavor, they added some cold water salmon. On top of that, they put the pièce de résistance, frozen worms. The worms gave the salmon something to eat.
Good work, my dear. Oh, I still love that first cold breakfast cereal, salmon and frozen worms. Some things you just never outgrow. I confess, though, that my very favorite cereal is Frosted Octopus Oats with jellyfish bits. Makes me hungry just thinking about it.
Gross! Look what Polly's cooked up now. If we don't do something fast, kids all over the world will be pouring milk over bowls filled with cold fish and worms. No one will eat breakfast anymore, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. Want to see the breakfast food capital of the world? Grab a spoon. We're off to Battle Creek, Michigan, and William Kellogg is about to invent cornflakes. Gross! It looks like Chef Boy Robot is setting up a secret taste test. He switched William Kellogg's regular breakfast cereal for a bucket of cold fish and worms. Think he'll notice? Don't do it, Mr. Kellogg. Milk doesn't go with cold seafood and annelids. Let's hit that recall button before the cosmos curdles. Yes, toasted cornflakes. That's more like it. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Plotly. What am I going to do with you? Are you trying to make me fail this test? I guess I'll have to make it a little tougher on you to get the next robot.
All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got...
Years ago, a painter invented a glow-in-the-dark paint called Undark. Glow-in-the-dark objects soon became all the rage, but the craze ended when people started getting sick. Undark was made from radium, you see, and no one realized that radium was poisonous. What makes radium glow?
What makes anything light up, Miss Winkle? Batteries, of course. Radium comes complete with AA batteries. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Yes, Polly, this is true. The power of radium lies in AA batteries.
Oh, talk about an unhealthy glow. If people start thinking radium isn't dangerous, they'll start using it again. We can't let that happen. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer. Well, this is it. The journey into time. Click on me to start the trip. Got your Geiger counter? We're about to visit the laboratory of Marie Curie in Paris, France. One of history's greatest scientists is about to discover radium. Shh! Radium is about to be discovered. Miss Battery Bot better not foul this up. Marie Curie's got 2 Nobel Prizes riding on this. What a jolt! Marie Curie is about to discover that radium's glow is battery-operated. Hit that recall button, fast! Maybe you want to live in a world of Polly's design, but look how proud she is. She knows that when it comes to radium, batteries are definitely not included. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright lock positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt. It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Nice work, Notley. I guess my own innate intelligence has rubbed off on you. Still, this little nightmare's not over yet. Still more robots to find, more challenges to meet. Good luck. You'll need it.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer.
As everyone knows, you can't blow decent bubbles with regular chewing gum. That's because bubble gum has more of the stuff that makes chewing gum chewy. It stretches more than regular gum, and that lets you blow big bubbles. Oh, but don't you try it in my class. What was the first chewing gum made from?
I'd love it if the whole world popped superglue into their mouths and started to chew. I'd be the only one left who could talk. Everyone would have to listen to me.
Well, Polly, you've done it again. That's exactly right. The world's first chewing gum was made with superglue.
Oh, great. That's all the world needs. Everybody's mouth glued shut except for Polly's. If it were the other way around, I'd be tempted to leave her be. But as it is, eardrums around the globe are depending on us. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer. Well, this is it. The journey into time. Click on me to start the trip. It's a far way to go to freshen your breath, but we're off to Mexico. A Mayan woman is cooking up a batch of the world's first chewing gum. What's that bubble bot up to? Oh no, he's pouring super glue into that pot of chewing gum. Watch out, Mayan lady, watch out! Oh, too late. Now her mouth's glued shut. Press the recall button. Let's hope it's not too late to save the world from this sticky situation. everything's back to normal. That Mayan lady is using tree sap like she's supposed to. And Bubblebot is back where he belongs. Now back to the future. Whoa, that was some landing. Press the back button on the utility. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Another robot safe at home. I bet you think you're the smartest little robot in the world now, don't you, Gutley? Well, you're not as smart as I am, and I'm gonna make the next mission so tough you'll beg to be taken to the scrap heap.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquisor.
Since the beginning of time, many painters have used walls as their canvas. In fact, two of the world's most famous painters got together to paint the walls of a splendid house in Italy. Too bad Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci couldn't get along. They never finished the project. The world's very first painting was done on a wall. What was the painting of?
The first painting probably wasn't very sophisticated. I bet it was one of those sad clowns on black velvet. I love those paintings. They make me want to cry.
You're absolutely right, young lady. The world's first painting depicted a sad clown. It was considered quite avant-garde at the time.
A sad clown? The very first time a human being decides to paint is a crucial moment in history. Polly could change art history and raise sad clown paintings to the level of high art. They'd fill our museums. We gotta stop her. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquisor. Ready, steady? Then click on me to go. Got your flashlight? We're about to visit the prehistoric cave where Stone Age man discovered how to paint. Hey, Pierrobot! Leave that caveman alone! Don't you know artists need their privacy to work? Ew! That velvet painting has totally ruined this cave's rustic decor! Press the recall button quick! The history of good taste depends on you! Once again, we've prevented Polly from clowning around with history. Feels good, doesn't it? Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Spotley, are you still at it? Amazing. Here are even more questions. Good luck. You'll need it.
Okay, pick up the quiz. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to...
No one knows what Abe Lincoln's voice sounded like. George Washington's voice will never be heard again. And the shot heard round the world, it echoes no more. There was nothing to record those sounds, and that's why history is silent. My question to you is this. What was the first recorded sound?
The first record had the coolest heavy metal guitar riff I've ever heard. That baby was singing.
Screeching, more like it, Polly. But you're 100% correct. The first recorded sound was of an electric guitar. I'll have you know I'm pretty hip. I love a shrieking tune and blasting amps as much as the next gal.
Oh, great. If Polly gets her way, the poor person who first invented a way to record sound is going to wind up with quite a shock to his system. I bet he throws his invention in the garbage. It'll be the world's first broken record. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Talk about a broken record, Borley. So what if I sent Slide, the heavy metal robot, back in time to pump up the volume? If you don't like it, all you have to do is find 4 measly clues. A broken pot, cotton candy, a red balloon, and a spider's web.
Poor Slide. He's a robot that was made out of lead. Lead's a heavy metal, but that doesn't make Slide a heavy metal robot. Sounds like Polly's programmed him into a rock star. History itself will rock and roll if we don't find those clues.
Hey, I could get used to this. Click on me to get us started.
How does this sound? A trip back in time to the laboratory of Thomas Edison. He's about to become the first person in history to record the human voice. Testing, testing, quiet in the lab. Edison is about to cut his first record. But what's Slide doing back there? Is that heavy metal robot plugging in his guitar? Whoa, dude! Edison's recording wicked riffs. We better pull the plug on this concert. Hit the recall button before Slide starts in with an encore. Much better. Edison is recording the words to Mary Had a Little Lamb, a kinder, gentler debut for the world's first phonograph. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time. Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Well, good for you, Snotley. You rescued another one of your little friends. How sweet. But there are more where that one came from. I just hope you can rescue them in time.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
It took humans most of their history to learn the simple art of making paper. It's so simple, in fact, that wasps were making paper millions of years before humans even appeared. Wasps create pulp from wood and use it to create paper nests. What was the world's first man-made paper used for?
I bet the world's first paper was used to make paper airplanes. No, that's not it. Paper Polly dolls. No, that's not it. Oh, I've got it. The world's first paper was used for making spitballs. Wait, it's all those things. That's it.
Oh, Polly, you are right, and we teachers have been plagued ever since.
Disgusting. Polly thinks paper was invented for spitballs and paper airplanes and dolls. That's wishful thinking on her part. She bothers everyone in her class with spitballs, and she wonders why she has no friends. Let's fix this one real quick. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Oh, Spitley, you ruin everything. But this time you won't succeed. I've got Noshi Origami, the robot who folds paper into shapes. To get Noshi, you'll first have to find these hidden clues. Masking tape, a firecracker, a tea bag, and an abacus.
Noshi Origami. He's here on an exchange program from Japan. He can fold paper into all sorts of cool shapes. Now Polly's gone and shaped him to her evil purposes. We better find those clues. Ready, steady? Then click on me to go. You can't use an airplane for this trip. Well, maybe a paper airplane. We're off to China and the invention of paper. So it's true. Polly sent Noshi Origami back in time. What's a Japanese exchange student robot doing in ancient China? With a pair of scissors, no less. That's what! He's making paper dolls of Polly. And that ancient Chinese lady seems to like him. Hurry, hit the recall button. That's not what paper was invented for. That's news to me. The world's first paper was not used for making paper dolls or even writing. It was used for clothing. Watch out for paper cuts, ancient lady. Now hold on while I steer this contraption back. Phew, we made it back. Always a good sign. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Another robot safe at home. I bet you think you're the smartest little robot in the world now, don't you, Gutley? Well, you're not as smart as I am, and I'm gonna make the next mission so tough you'll beg to be taken to the scrap heap.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer.
Sailors once lived in great dread of accidentally sailing off the ends of the earth. They thought the earth was flat and that you could fall right off it. For centuries, people wondered what the shape of the earth was. How did people prove once and for all that the earth was round?
How else could you prove the Earth was round except by taking a giant leap into space to see the whole planet and taking a picture from the moon? As everyone knows, you need a rocket for that.
Oh, Polly, you are one smart cookie. People proved the earth was round by taking a snapshot of it from the moon.
That can't be right. You mean to tell me that we didn't know the earth was round until we sent rocket ships into space? Oh, Polly's up to her old tricks. We better do something about it. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Ooh, Spotly, I'm shaking in my boots. Truth is, I sent Vasco the Robot back in time to help me pass my quiz. Find the following 4 objects and maybe you can stop him in time. A donut, a concrete block, a bull, and a bottle of perfume.
Vasco the Robot is one of my closest friends. Well, actually, we're only pen pals. He travels so much you can only talk to him by email. Now Polly's got him traveling through time. We better rescue him quick. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. I bet Magellan wishes he could travel as easily as we can. It's 1522, and Magellan's about to set sail on his famous voyage around the world. Look, it's Vasco the Robot, and he's carrying a jetpack and a camera. You don't think... I don't believe it! Magellan's about to blast off into space to take a photo of the round Earth. He'll burn up on re-entry. Hit the recall button before history lifts off. Adios, Magellan. Good luck on your trip around the globe. Trust me, you're gonna need it. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Nice work, Notley. I guess my own innate intelligence has rubbed off on you. Still, this little nightmare's not over yet. Still more robots to find, more challenges to meet. Good luck. You'll need it.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
The world's first dynamite factory was so dangerous that authorities moved it to a barge in the middle of a lake. Dynamite, you see, is made from nitroglycerin, a substance that's so explosive, even a slight movement can make it go kablooey. Explosives can be deadly, and they can be useful. Dynamite was first invented for what purpose?
Sure, explosives can be useful or deadly, but you forgot something else about explosives, Miss Winkle. Explosives can be fun. Take exploding cigars. They crack me up. I mean, they really crack me up. Dynamite was a great invention for practical jokers.
Yes, Polly, that's exactly right. The exploding cigar changed the face of practical jokes. And boy, does dynamite change the face of the people who try to smoke it.
Holy smoke, talk about practical jokes. We can't let Polly get away with this one. Everyone knows that smoking's bad for your health, but smoking dynamite? That would be really, really bad for your health. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Since Robbie Robot, the practical joking robot, is dumb enough to squirt people with water, I figure he'd be dumb enough to do my dirty work. To find Robbie, you'll have to locate these 4 clues: a moon rock, an axe, an olive, and a medal.
Robbie Robot doesn't smoke. The professor programmed him to carry a water pistol around for the sole purpose of putting out people's cigars and cigarettes. Polly has obviously reprogrammed him. We better find those clues. No time to waste. I don't feel right lingering here when so many of my brethren are lost in time. Let's get to work. Ready, steady? Then click on me to go. Click on me to get us started. Okay, no sudden moves. We're about to visit Alfred Nobel's laboratory in Sweden, where he's experimenting with explosives. This should be a blast. Watch out, Alfred. It's a trick. That's Robbie Robot, the practical joker. Can't use dynamite as an exploding cigar. We better snuff this out and fast. Press the recall button, quick. That wasn't funny, Robbie Robot. Dynamite was invented for tunneling and mining, not practical jokes. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright, locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Plodly. What am I going to do with you? Are you trying to make me fail this test? I guess I'll have to make it a little tougher on you to get the next robot.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
The word microscope is from Greek. It means watcher of the small. A microscope is an instrument used to see things that are invisible to the naked eye. The invention of the microscope revealed a whole new world, a world beyond people's wildest imagination. What was seen through the lens of the world's first microscope?
The tiny creatures thought they were invisible, so they'd take baths whenever they wanted, never guessing that someone might be looking at them. Well, the first person to look through a microscope caught a tiny creature in the bath, buck naked.
That's right, Polly. The poor thing was ever so embarrassed, and the person looking at it was mighty embarrassed as well.
Polly can't be serious. Tiny creatures don't take baths. It's Polly who needs to clean up her act. What do you say we clean it up for her? Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Bathley, you're all wet. I sent Slobot, the dirty robot, to do my bidding, and boy, is he gonna make a splash. If you want to find him, you'll first have to locate these 4 clues. Eyeglasses, a flea, a cork, and a telescope.
Polly's all washed up this time. If she thinks she can get Slobot anywhere near a bathtub, she's got another thing coming. He loves dirt so much, he married Professor Spark's vacuum cleaner. But just in case she's reprogrammed him, let's find the clues.
Hey, I can get used to this. Click on me to get us started.
It's time to visit Leeuwenhoek's laboratory in Holland. Can't wait to see through the lens of his microscope. Hey, it's Slobot, the smelly robot. If he sneaks under the microscope, Leeuwenhoek's in for the shock of his life. Slobot's taking a bath. Hit the recall button before Leeuwenhoek faints. The smell alone might do him in. Oh, that's better. Leeuwenhoek observed fleas under his microscope, not a flea-infested Slobot. Now, back to the future. Whoa, that was some landing. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Will you never give up, Bootley? You may have gotten this far, but all the help in the world won't enable you to defeat me. Here are more questions. I'd like to see you find your way out of this.
Okay, pick up the quiz disc and click on the inventory. That's the only way to see what more is in store for us. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission.
The invention of writing was the stuff of legend for ancient people. The Chinese, for example, believed it was a gift to Emperor Yu from the magic tortoise he saved from drowning. Today's archaeologists tell a different story about the invention of writing. What did people first write on?
They wrote on what everybody writes on, Miss Winkle. Word processors, of course.
Why, you're right again, Polly. Archaeologists have dug up many ancient examples of the first word processors, some still attached to early dot matrix printers.
Holy handwriting! The history of writing will be turned upside down and backwards if Polly gets her way. We better write that wrong, so to speak. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Only I, Polly, could turn the invention of writing into the invention of wronging. I sent EraserBot to rub history the wrong way. Find these 4 clues if you want to try to stop him. A book, a brick, a glass of water, and a rubber tire.
Poor EraserBot, the automatic robotic pencil eraser. What if he gets rubbed out during Polly's quest to erase history? Who'll be there to correct the professor's mistakes? The writing's on the wall, and it's clear that we need to find those clues. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. This should be cool. We get to travel back in time over 5,000 years. The Sumerians in the Middle East are about to invent writing. Watch out, Mr. Sumerian. Eraserbot, the robotic graffiti remover, is about to erase the history of writing. Oh, brother. He's trying to chisel away at the computer keyboard. Hit the button, quick, before he makes the word processor look like it's been in the food processor. That's better. The Sumerians carved their writing onto clay tablets. Word processors came way later. Now hold on while I steer this contraption back. Phew, we made it back. Always a good sign. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Well, good for you, Snotley. You rescued another one of your little friends. How sweet. But there are more where that one came from. I just hope you can rescue them in time.
All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on the inventory to start a mission. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission.
Bologna, frankfurters, wieners, and salami. They're all types of sausage. Sausage is a mixture of flavorful meat that's wrapped in a casing and cooked. And that's no bologna. What was the outside of the world's first sausage made of?
Daddy's mother put everything she had into making her homemade sausages. They were so odoriferous. Daddy used to say they tasted like her old socks. So I guess that's what sausages are made with. Old socks.
That's the secret ingredient. Old socks have been used for centuries as the casing for sausages. Now you know where socks go when they disappear from the laundry.
Imagine that. Sausages made from old socks. What'll Polly think of next? We can put a stop to this. We can sock it to Polly once and for all. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Not so fast, Hosebreath. I've got Sockbot on my side, and he's stepping out into history. If you want to follow his soft footsteps, you'll need to find these 4 clues first. A hot dog, a clock, a piece of coal, and a motorboat.
Sockbot, the smelly robot? I can't believe they let him out of his shoe. I wouldn't subject people to his smell. We've got our work cut out for us. Hold your nose. Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. Click on me to... It's time for some serious time traveling. Destination, the Middle East, where the Babylonians have just invented sausage. Hot dog! What's Sockbot doing there? He's making sock sausage, that's what! You think that Babylonian merchant is gonna sell it? Oh no, even worse, she's tasting it! Ew! Hit the recall button fast! Sockbot's home, and once again, sausages are made with animal intestines. Delish. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility. Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
Oh, Dotley, you do have a hero complex, don't you? Always wanting to save the world. Just to make you happy, the next mission will be even harder.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
If you try to trace the invention of the bicycle back to its very beginnings, you run into a bit of trouble. The ancient Egyptians built two-wheeled contraptions out of wood, but no one knows for sure if they used them as bikes. The Egyptian bikes had no pedals, and neither did the first modern bikes. So, how were the first modern bicycles powered?
Who needs pedals when you've got jet engines on your bike? The jet engine bicycle was so totally cool that they invented pedal bikes on purpose because parents could never catch their children at dinner time.
Pedaling has its pleasures, Polly, but you're right about the world's first bikes. They were propelled by jet engines. Unfortunately, no examples of these first bicycles survived. The bicycles and their riders all disappeared into the sky.
Oh no, Polly's rigged the world's first bicycle with jet engines. That means everyone who rides one shoots off into the sky, never to be heard from again. We must do something to save the world's first bike riders and the poor people in their paths. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Not so fast, Buster. I've sent BoosterBot, the rocket robot, to a place and time that's a secret known only by me. You can attempt to find out where that is, but first you'll have to find these 4 clues. A drum, blue jeans, a pretzel, and roller skates.
So Polly's reprogrammed BoosterBot. He knows everything there is to know about rocketry. I say we let the air out of Polly's tires, so to speak, and rescue BoosterBot and the world's first bike rider.
Hey, I could get used to this.
Click on me to get us started. Can you imagine a world without bicycles? Well, we're off to Germany to find Karl von Dres as he tests the world's first bicycle. Uh-oh, BoosterBot's got jet engines in his hands. You don't suppose he's gonna try and... Nah. Yeah! BoosterBot's about to launch poor Karl von Dres right into the stratosphere. Hit that recall button before the inventor of the bike becomes a shooting star. Maybe you want to live in a world of Polly's design, but I don't. Come on, press the recall button. Phew, maybe the rockets weren't such a bad idea. What good's a bike before the invention of pedals? Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to... It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Well, good for you, Snotley. You rescued another one of your little friends. How sweet. But there are more where that one came from. I just hope you can rescue them in time.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on any of the buttons near the bottom of the transquizzer. Click on the yellow start button to hear this question.
The world's first vehicle was nothing but a plank of wood dragged behind an ox. The invention of the wheel changed history forever because it turned that sluggish sled into a swift cart. But the first wheel wasn't invented for moving people. What was the first wheel used for?
Obviously, Miss Winkle, to drive around, you first need something to steer with. Ipso facto, therefore, ergo, the steering wheel had to come first. True, Miss Winkle?
Very true, Polly. The steering wheel was the first wheel ever invented. It was only after the steering wheel was invented that people realized they needed something to steer. And the rest is history.
History? Warped history, if you ask me. What is the inventor of the wheel gonna do with a steering wheel? We have to steer history back on course, if you know what I mean. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
You'll have to steer clear of me first. I've sent Roland Roadbot on a detour through history. If you want to find out when and where the wheel was invented, you'll have to find these 4 clues. A pencil, a plow, a garden hose, and sunglasses.
Poor Roland Roadbot. We better put a roadblock in front of his mission. Let's get to work and find those 4 clues, or the inventor of the wheel's gonna be in a fender bender before the fender was even invented. As long as there is a single robot lost to history, our mission isn't complete. Let's get back to it. Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. All right, the Sumerians in the Middle East are about to invent the wheel. Rock and roll, we're off! What's that Roland Roadbot hawking? Steering wheels? He's gotta be kidding! He's not kidding. It looks like Polly succeeded. The first wheel is a steering wheel, but there's no car. Hit the recall button and let's eject Roland from the driver's seat of history. Much better. The first wheel was used for spinning nice, round pots. It was a potter's wheel. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Oh, Dotley, you do have a hero complex, don't you? Always wanting to save the world. Just to make you happy, the next mission will be even harder.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission.
Today when we drink milk, we usually drink cow's milk. But the world's first milk drinkers probably drank milk from goats. Goat's milk and even buffalo milk are still popular in countries all around the world. What makes milk safe to drink?
To make things safe to eat, you often have to heat them. You wash your hands with hot water before eating, right? So, just before milking, the farmer heats the cows gently. That way, the milk that comes out of them is safe to drink.
That's exactly right, Polly. Of course, it's quite expensive to heat cows every morning, and if anything does go wrong in the process, well, it's not very pleasant for the poor cows. But it's a small price to pay for safe milk.
A small price to pay, if you're not a cow. Holy smokes! If Polly gets her way, I don't even want to think about it. Point is, we gotta get moving and do something about it. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Oh, gee, Hotley, don't have a cow. Don't worry about those Guernseys. I've sent Roastbot back to teach farmers a thing or two about safe milk. These 4 clues could help you find him. An ice cube, a milk bottle, a menu, and a worm.
But Roastbot's the robot fireman who's gonna deal with short circuits. I'm feeling hot under the collar already. We simply must find those clues. Ready, steady? Then click on me to go. Wash your hands after this trip. We're going to France over 100 years ago, and Louis Pasteur is about to discover germs. Voila! Louis Pasteur is about to figure out a way to sterilize milk. But that peeking in the window? It's Roastbot. Oh no, Roastbot is heating up the cow. That's not how you sterilize milk. Hit the recall button. What a relief, especially for the cow. Pasteur invented pasteurization. You heat the milk to kill the germs. Make sure your seatbacks are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. Hey, things are looking up here. We've added another robot to the roost. Can you say sweet dreams?
I can't believe you're still bothering me. Well, here are more questions. Not that you'll be able to make any sense of them.
Okay, pick up the quiz disc and click on the inventory. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. All right, we still got places to go and
One of the oldest and most peculiar inventions of all time is the boomerang. A boomerang is hardly more than a curved stick, but it puzzled scientists for many years. Nobody could explain why it returns to the person who throws it in the air. The people who made the first boomerang didn't know why it worked. They only knew that it worked. What was the first boomerang used for?
It's a sad fact of history, Miss Winkle, but the world's first mailman was a lazy fellow. He was sick of making his rounds, so he figured out a way to attach the letters to a boomerang. That way he could deliver the mail without leaving his house.
That's right, Polly. The boomerang was invented by the world's first mailman. And you should have seen the muscles that developed in his throwing arm, especially during the holidays when he had all those extra packages. Oh, my.
give me a break. How could you deliver the mail with a boomerang? My guess is that the boomerang was invented way before the postal system. We better do something about this historical blunder. We don't want the postal workers to get mad at us. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Boo-Booey has found an error. Well, I've got Oswald, the robotic mailman, on my side. He's back in time making sure I score 100 on my quiz. You want Oswald to return? First, find these 4 clues: a slingshot, a bird's nest, a lock and key, and a surfboard.
Who's going to deliver the mail now that Polly's reprogrammed Oswald the robotic mailman? It's time to return Oswald to sender. Let's find those clues and do like a boomerang. We'll throw ourselves into history, and then we'll come back again. Fasten your seatbelt and click on me when you're ready to go. Next stop, Australia, to watch the invention of the boomerang. Heads up, no telling how good the Aborigines' aim was back then. Hey, there's Oswald the robot mailman. What's he gonna do to that Aborigine? I mean, how do you change something as simple as the invention of the boomerang? Whoa! He's gonna try to deliver the mail with it. Hit that recall button before he makes a special delivery. There you go. The boomerang was invented for hunting, not mailing. Make sure your seatbacks are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. Ah, there's no place like home. Press the back button on back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Oh, Dotley, you do have a hero complex, don't you? Always wanting to save the world. Just to make you happy, the next mission will be even harder.
No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot. Click on the inventory to start a mission. Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission.
Money's the most fascinating invention of all time. Before money, people used the barter system. If you wanted a loaf of bread, you had to give the bread maker something you made in exchange. But if he didn't want what you made, well, you didn't get your bread. The world's first money were coins. Why were coins invented?
Oh, coins were necessary, you see, because people wanted to get candy bars out of candy machines, and everyone knows that you need coins for that, and the early machines didn't take bills.
It's true. For thousands of years, vending machines stood around in fields and meadows untouched by human hands. No one knew how to get the candy out of them. Then coins were invented. They were the keys that unlocked those sweet treasure chests.
I think Polly has an abscess in her wisdom tooth. Does she really think that vending machines came before coins? Oh, there's no telling what she's planning this time. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
I'll tell you what I'm planning, Rotley. I've sent Verna, the Vendbot, back in time to the invention of coins. If you ever want to see Verna again, I'd suggest you find these 4 clues: a hammer, a scale, chopsticks, and a cash register.
Verna the Vendbot. She's our mobile vending machine. Of course, here on the mountain, the candy she stores is free. Polly must have programmed her to take coins. We gotta get her back here before snack time. Hey, I can get used to this. Click on me to get us started. Next stop, Turkey. The Lydians are about to invent the world's first coins. Think they'll succeed? Let's flip on it. Heads say they do, tails say they don't. Bingo! There's Verna Vendbot, the robot vending machine. What's she doing with that Lydian mom and her kid? I get it. The kid wants to use the world's first coin to get some candy out of Vendbot. Can't blame him, really. But still, you better hit that recall button. You need to press the recall button or we'll never defeat Polly. Phew, that was close. They're gonna use the coins to buy bread. That's the thing with money. You can purchase an item without having to trade something you made. Make sure your seat backs are in their upright locked positions while I take us home. There's no place like home. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong.
Another robot safe at home. I bet you think you're the smartest little robot in the world now, don't you, Gutley? Well, you're not as smart as I am, and I'm gonna make the next mission so tough you'll beg to be taken to the scrap heap.
All right, we still got places to go and robots to rescue. Click on the inventory to start a mission. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
Some people claim that human beings are the only animals who use tools. Plenty of animals use tools. Horses have been known to pick up a stick to scratch their backs, and chimpanzees use sticks to fish for termites hidden deep inside logs. What were mankind's first tools used for?
The first tools were hammers, screwdrivers, and wrenches. After all, people needed something to fix their televisions with.
Horrifying but true, Polly. Obviously, there were no TV repairmen back then, so clever humans invented hammers and screwdrivers to fix televisions on their own.
Please, you mean to tell me that televisions were invented before tools? How did people build TVs in the first place? With their teeth? We've got to get to the invention of tools before Polly goes too far. Click on the inventory button to put away the transquizzer.
Well, Boobly, I've sent Hank, the robot repairman, to fix things once and for all. Try all you want, but there's nothing you can do. I've hidden the following 4 clues, and I bet you'll never find them. A fingerprint, a bus, an iron, and a penguin.
Hank can fix anything. Where would I be without my weekly tweaking? We've got to find those clues and get him back so we can fix Polly for good. Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. Okay, Stone Age Man is about to invent the world's first tool. That took place in Africa millions of years ago. Let's check it out. Whoa! Hank the robot repairman is delivering a television to a prehistoric cave woman. She doesn't even have cable. Wait just 1 second. The world's first tools weren't made for fixing televisions. Hit that recall button before Hank changes channels on history. See? The first tools were used to help people prepare their food. Now back to the future. Whoa, that was some landing. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. Hey, we can't stay in here all day. There's back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Well, good for you, Snotley. You rescued another one of your little friends. How sweet. But there are more where that one came from. I just hope you can rescue them in time.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
In Greek myth, Pan invented the first musical instrument. One day along the banks of a river, Pan sighed a long sigh. His breath produced a sad sound as it passed through the reeds that grew along the river. With the reeds, he made a shepherd's pipe. There are countless musical instruments throughout the world. What kind of instrument is the saxophone?
A saxophone, eh? Well, it's electric, and you bang on it with sticks. And it's really, really big. Yes, that big electric drum-like thing that has always been one of my very favorite instruments. I adore Beethoven's Saxophone Symphony No. 3, don't you?
I sure do, Polly. Once again, you've pinned the tail on the donkey. The saxophone is an enormous electric drum set. Some of the world's most accomplished classical composers have paid homage to its electrifying beat.
Oh, great. No more saxophones if Polly gets her way. I love their mournful songs. Drums are nice, but we've got plenty of drums. Ready, steady? Then click on me to go. Ah, yes. Paris in the springtime. Antoine Joseph Sax is about to invent the saxophone. Bon voyage! There's Monsieur Sax. He's showing off his new invention. What do you think BongoBot has up his 6 sleeves? Oh no! BongoBot switched instruments! The saxophone is now a loud electric drum set! Hit the recall button and save the history of jazz! That was close. Sax has his invention back, and we've got BongoBot. Now the world of music can develop real sax appeal. Now hold on while I steer this contraption back. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
Another robot safe at home. I bet you think you're the smartest little robot in the world now, don't you, Gutley? Well, you're not as smart as I am, and I'm gonna make the next mission so tough you'll beg to be taken to the scrap heap.
Let's take a look at that transquizzer and select another mission. Click on the inventory. No time to pat ourselves on the back. Select another question so we can save another robot.
How's this for a throne? The world's first flushing toilet was invented 400 years ago for Queen Elizabeth I of England. Elizabeth liked the invention, but not the inventor. They had a fight, and he was banished from the kingdom. Talk about a royal flush. The first toilets were invented long before Queen Elizabeth sat on her throne. How did the world's first toilets flush?
Well, Miss Winkle, early toilets had no place to send waste, so the inventor decided to just obliterate the whole mess. You pushed a button, and it exploded. Clean, simple, and sanitary.
I can't imagine how you came up with that answer, Polly, but you're exactly right. The world's first toilets required very little maintenance. Once you used it, all you did was blow it up.
Nature calls, and Polly throws a hand grenade in response. I'm sure the first toilets weren't invented for a single use. What a waste. We can't stand for this. Ready for another ride? Click on me then. Hold on. The island of Crete 4,000 years ago. The Minoan people had built a paradise on Earth. But what we've got to find is the world's first toilet. It's Brunwell of the robot bombshell. And there's a Minoan guy. It looks like he just walked out of the... facilities. Oh no! Brunwell is gonna blow that baby up! Hit the recall button before the world's first toilet gets flushed to smithereens. Check it out! The world's first toilet was flushed by Mother Nature. The tides came in and cleaned the whole thing out. Pretty cool. Now back to the future. Whoa, that was some landing. Press the back button on the utility belt to leave the time machine. We need to put this robot to rest. Back at the robot roost, and we've added another robot to the collection.
So, Rotley, you think you foiled my plan by rescuing all those robots? Well, my test score may be 0 now, but there's still that extra credit question. And Miss Winkle says that extra credit questions always more than make up for the rest of the test. This extra credit question involves the origins of the universe. Now, we all know she's expecting me to discuss the Big Bang, but I'd rather discuss the Big Bot. Yeah, that's right. I think the universe started with a robot named Botley.
Me? But I thought there was, I don't know, mutual respect developing between us.
Save me the schmaltz, Blotley. Daddy programmed you to obey me, so I order you to march on over to the handy-dandy time machine and set those dials to way, way back, to the beginning of the universe.
But, Polly, the beginning of the universe would mean the end of me. You can't mean that.
You should never have tried to stop me, Plodley. I mean, I didn't deserve that big fat F on my test. No, I really had no choice but to send those robots back to change history so I could get the A I so richly deserved. The A Miss Winkle refused to give me. I know my father said I was never, ever under any circumstances to play with his time machine. But I know in my heart that if he were here right now, he'd say, "Polly, Miss Winkle robbed you. Now go out there and change the history of the world, you brave, brilliant, beautiful little girl." Uh-oh.
Professor Spark! Oh, it's so good to see you.
Hello, Botley. Hello, Polly.
So, how is the annual Time Warp Inventors Convention, Daddy? As fun as usual?
Yes, it was very informative. Very informative indeed. Funny how you think you know a thing or two about history, and then all of a sudden, it changes on you.
But, Daddy, I can explain.
I'm waiting.
Botley made me do it. He must have a faulty chip or something. I tried to stop him, but he was out of control. Oh, Daddy, I'm so glad you're home.
Nice try, Polly. But I think Miss Winkle might tell a different tale.
Oh, Daddy, Miss Winkle just doesn't understand. I thought she did, but she doesn't.
Fortunately, Polly, she understands enough to let you retake that quiz right now.
Hello, Polly. I'm so glad to give you this opportunity. Of course, because you took the test once, I can't give you the same questions. So I've made up another test just for you. I hope you've been brushing up on your Latin.
Latin? Latin? Oh, but Daddy!
Good old Professor Spark. Nothing gets by him.
You just wait till next time, Snotley.
Okay, now that all the robots are home safe, feel free to stay and explore the mountain all you want. But don't count Polly out just yet. She could still show up at any time. All right, things are going well. That area way in back of me is where all the professor's time-traveling robots are stored. It does my CPU chip good to know that I've helped bring these guys back where they belong. All right, things...